just to give it to you in stark measures that this is what it is that we're entertaining. Thank you.
Yeah. One of the areas I wanted
please,
to
let me,
raise.
Father,
Yeah.
I know you put that in on the screen. Tokwe O, I stand to be corrected. Look, go and check Ted Cruz. He was born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. His mother is an American. His father is not an American. How did he contest for president with Trump? Yes, people should just grow up. What you're thinking, I also think like that many years ago. You understand? Some of us, when we get this funny thing called blue passport, we just think, oh, this is how it is. With Trump.
Paul, what you are saying, I thought that JA have already considered to it before he left.
No, he didn't consider. He also proved the point. No, Tokpeo still said, I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
You're not. My finest case that I can use, I use the most public person that you can ever think of, Senator Ted Cruz, who contested for president 2015. Yeah, not so long. And most likely he may contest again his second time.
Let me
you
support Paul on this. I've been hearing this argument. Ted Cruz, I know the hospital he was born in Calgary. To be honest, he was born in Calgary. So I need to support Paul on this. What Paul said is actually very correct.
Paul is right,
people,
100%.
Yeah, hold on. When people come with this kind of argument, we are not here to argue. We are really here to learn. You got to learn. You got to ask yourself, okay, why was he allowed to contest? You need to understand the law. Ted Cruz, 100%, he was born in Calgary, Canada, Alberta. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things I wanted to highlight was something that I saw on the internet recently that shocked me. Actually, I was a bit shocked because I never really thought about it from that point of view. Because we talk about how our women and our men, sometimes, especially in the African American community or overseas, they tend to be having problems keeping their relationships together. But I never really thought about what the Chinese men are going through, and or the Asian men. But I was surprised. So I want to play this video so as some people see it. Like I said, disclosure, parental advice. Don't have, because this guy says some. I think he was swearing a little bit and say some stuff. So, but it was on YouTube, so it must be okay. Let's see. Without even any warning at all. So look at what he says. Interracialism has destroyed Asian men. Look at, he was accusing the women, and maybe any woman here can comment on it. Let me just play this briefly. All right, there's the audio. Okay.
About interracial dating. Ooh, I know this topic is going to trigger a lot of people, but I want to make something clear at the start of this video. None of the things I'm about to say in this video is based on my personal opinion. I'm just telling you guys the 100% truth, and this is what I've observed. I've been living in the West for nearly 20 years now. And first of all, first point I have to make is that nobody likes Asian guys, okay? That's just a biological fact. If you're born an Asian male, you're born to be cucked into this world, okay? Let's say, if you go to New York City, right? If you pull together a bunch of young people, let's say you pull together 100 young women between the ages of 18 to 25, and if you pull together another random 100 male between the ages of 18 to 25, this is across all religions, all ethnicities, and if you ask these young women to rate the other group of young men, the group of men that will come up with the highest scoring in terms of attractiveness will be white male, followed by black male, followed by a Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Pacific Islander, American Samoan, possibly indigenous. And this is the group that follows. And the two groups that always ends up at the bottom, it's Asian male and Indian male, okay? That is 100% true biological fact. There's no twisting your way around it. And you know who has the worst? Asian men. Because at least in India, almost all the marriages are arranged, right? However, for Asian males in the modern world, where the entire world is connected, and with the rise of millions of passport bureaus and with the rise of interracial dating and marriage, the Asian guy gets completely cucked. So I'll give you an example. If you look at the latest statistics in the U.S. on interracial marriage, right? The number of Asian females entering interracial marriage is at a staggering 36% compared to 17% for.
That is quite a lot, isn't it? Their women are marrying other people like at an alarmingly high rate. Look at the white ones, different. Black people are quite low too. Black women are quite loyal. Our men are a little bit rubbish, but the women. But look at the Asian women. They are marrying other people. No wonder he's complaining.
For Asian men, even this number is skewed. I'll tell you why. Because in this category, they categorize Asian men and Indian men. They put them into the same category, which is false. Because the vast majority of the time, well, when the Indian person enters an interracial marriage, it's an Indian man and a Western woman. Okay, so let's say if you were able to exclude Indian men from this equation, the true numbers would be something like 50% of Asian women are entering interracial marriage, and for Asian men, it's maybe 10%. And if you go to Asia, if you don't believe me, go to, let's say, China, Japan, go to Philippines, Vietnam, go to Cambodia, Thailand. I would say that the 99% of the cases of all the interracial marriages, it's a white Western passport bro marrying an Asian woman. Okay, you would almost never see a passport sister. You don't see a foreign woman coming to China to look for a husband. Okay, Asian men get completely cut. One thing I want to bring up is that women are more perverted than men in modern relationships. No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just telling you the truth. I went to a college for 2 years, and I've been to universities for 4 years now. In 6 years of post-secondary, sometimes it's just out of curiosity. Sometimes I see an interracial couple on campus. Sometimes we sit down and at the parties or whatever, we just have a casual conversation. I see a white girl with a black guy on campus. I asked her, like, what made you interested in him? And listen, the answer almost 100% of the time is that it's all about this. Okay, see this?
Yes,
It's all about the 8-inch big black cock. I'm really not making this up. Women are
you sure the children are away? This is Western meal
comparison. Like, this is around 5 inches, and this is actually around 11 inches. And let's just take a moment, okay? I want to expand on this. For example, the topic of sex comes up, right? You ask these modern so-called liberal feminist women, they say, oh, what's the typical like dick size do you see? Their answer, it's never like this. It's always something like this. Do you know what that means, ladies? Do you know what that means? Is that the guys with average size penis or small penis simply don't get laid, okay? All of the women want the guy with the huge dick. I'm serious, man. I have seen this so many times. And if you don't believe me, you can just do a survey, especially go to American university campuses. Go talk to the interracial couples. Okay. The number one reason for so many white women that's dating black men on college campuses is because they have a huge cock. And part of the reason the man's attractiveness on a scale and the Asian and Indian men always land on the bottom is that, man, they don't have massive dicks. Okay. That's just a true biological fact. Women are obsessed with this. Women cannot lead in a relationship. Women are followers because, for example, I've heard of many stories like this, right? When a woman hooks up with some guy with a huge dick, and it's important to remember, it's not just the length, it's also the girth. For example, like this is
what's wrong with this brother? He's banging trouble.
The guys should calm down,
like,
man.
You have an why you're not happy.
This
right?
brother's in trouble, man.
Every time I want these girls, they hook up with a guy that has a huge dick. They tell all of their friends and all of their roommates about it. They say, "Oh my God, this guy Jack, his cock is so huge. It was the best orgasm I've ever had." And then all of a sudden,
we get forefather. I think we get the point.
Have the sex with the same guy. Many people call this hypergamy or female choice copulate, where the vast majority of women are only attracted to a very small percentage of men. And
Jagun has had enough. So when I saw that, I was laughing and thinking, okay, we thought we had a problem. That is a demographic tsunami going on with that data.
Father, you have to also factor immigration. Immigration also contribute a lot. The American men are running to Asia like in drones for this Asian lady and everything. They are running in drones. You understand? So immigration is also contributing immensely. Like the Philippines, the US understand the Philippines law. The Philippine law, you don't divorce. So the women don't have what it takes to, like a Nigerian woman who probably come here with a visiting visa, pretend initially that she's married, then got divorced, then marry here for papers and everything. The Philippines, they don't have those type of privilege. They can't cut it. And the men travel a lot because of, they understand the Asian women, they say they cook, they are very good homemaker and the like. But sometimes not because of they really like these people so much, but also for the purpose of immigration. But I'm not ruling that part.
I'm a little bit surprised because from what he said there, the Indian women, they are not like that. It's just but they group them together with the Asian, everything together. But the Indian women, they marry into their own people. But the Chinese ones, or the like Asian ones, as we like to refer, they tend to like 50%. That is, I find out how to. They have to be the ones in the US or something. It can't be true.
I know we are on live this thing, but I'll still say it in a way. Man, tell you, father, you see this quality way they talk about in like our Nigerian community now. Say me now, I want to help somebody do pali. I probably will take like 10K to do pali for that person. Chinese, they take 50,000, 70,000.
Imagine,
my brother, they take very huge money. So them can even go outside because of that one. The Chinese people will tell you that they hate themselves a lot when it comes to pali. You understand? Say to get yourself straight with that immigration level is really, really, really expensive. So some of them go outside because they just know the value and everything. But the Indian man, the day the Indian man gets this thing that the Indian man gets, is going back home to go bring somebody here easily. They don't really know how to go outside much. You understand? But that's why I said immigration contributes a lot. So some of them, because to get it inside is very, very hard. So they go out there.
It's actually more. It's more than that. I know you used the word immigration, but I think it's more. It's more than that. It's
no. That's true. I'm just saying one aspect of it.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel the major push is that it does come from the West. The white men have been going to the Far East for women for a long time. What we understood when we were growing up about white men is that they don't. I don't want to swear, but they don't F everywhere. There's nowhere where they never enter. They enter everywhere, and everyone's woman. They don't chop her. You understand? Let's be frank. So when we were growing up, when we used to step outside of the community, or we would say that we are getting back for our forebears, who you don't bang everybody, we go bang everybody. So now in America, and especially the West, this whole aspect of what a woman is in terms of what they now, after ruining all the women in the area, they now want a proper woman who is a virgin, who is this, who is that, who can cook. We want everything. So we now come choose our fly to Brazil or corrupt that whole place. Fly to everywhere. There's no way. When you look on the net and you see passport bros, they're going all over the world looking for women. You understand? And at the end of the day, largely what they're doing is just spreading their seed. They're not really tidying themselves up and getting married and bringing a family. Some are doing that, but not many. The majority are, again, still out there for the sex matter. Now, I put this to you.
I think Bumi wants to say something.
Yes, you will now. I'm still speaking.
Bumi has something to say about this side.
Because
shall I shut up? Shall I not finish my sentence?
No, finish what you are saying, but I'm just letting you know that she's...
I see. Thank you for that, my life. AY, you should be very quiet. Just generally. AY, you like stabbing people here and being quiet with it. I heard your voice there, my friend. Even I didn't see your lips move. I heard your voice.
You know it's AI now. It's AI. Don't mess with you.
All I want to say is that we men are still extremely immature. We are going around ruining women. And I know this because I'm a master, but I don't ruin them. I leave them with a great sense of being when I've left. They're very happy after I've left. However, I would say that generally men have let the side down in not looking after their women well enough. I'll end there. Thank you.
Yeah, but since you people are the people that are being accused by that guy, that you people don't give them a second looking. So, have you ever thought of an Asian guy? Because you would think with all these anime, manga, and all this stuff, K-pop thing going on, that a lot of women would like the Asian men. But it turns out that the Asian men are finding it difficult with the general public of women. So please, what do you think about what you saw, Bumi?
I don't really have much to say regarding that one. Actually, just my main comment was when you guys start talking about women and how like the West are like changing the African women and that. And I want to comment more when there's another woman here. I don't want to be the only one. So I feel like maybe tomorrow, if there's another woman that comes in, we can dive in deep. But I would say this before I leave is I find it very interesting how almost every time we talk about something, it's always a woman's fault. There's just some way that we'll find
Yeah.
to tie it down to a woman. And I think it's so ridiculous because I was reading about what's it called, schizophrenia, and back then, what they thought, because they obviously didn't have a lot of research and data about it, they were basically saying it's a woman's fault why those kids were coming out with those symptoms. They literally blamed the woman for something that we all know today is either you get it genetically or the other ways of getting it. But we somehow find a way to blame a woman. I just think it's a big topic we need to. It's like when you even talk about this whole marriage stuff, always the woman. We don't talk about how, like, just Mr. Jago, before you ended your submission, you said something about like the men are always out here just trying to have multiple kids. If you look at majority of the musicians, Nigerian musicians, how many baby mamas do they have? But no, it's the woman. It's always the woman. You never address the actions or the how.
But to be fair, though, the men here did call the men out. If I remember, I did.
I did as well.
I observed. Wait.
You see, I think we have to listen to the subject. Can I put this to you, Bumi, if I can?
Before you finish, I sat here and observed, and your first instinct was always to attack the woman, and then slowly, when you started having more conversation, when you started going in deep, we were like, but men too. But your first instinct was the woman.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that take on it. You see, it's true. You're the only woman here, and you're a young woman, and we respect you a lot. We always, I think, when you come on, it's always a breath of fresh air for all of us as men here. Look, I mean, just look around. It's just horrible testosterone. Yeah. However, you see, we must take each other as we are. We can't keep this. The only way I can speak is as a man, and I can only speak from my observation. And I would like that observation to be taken as quite serious and looked upon. And then, as you give me your observation from your point of view, I too would take that and look upon it. But if I can tell you guaranteed, if this is a panel of mainly women, there will be cussing men to the hellish place. We can't pretend that we haven't seen that. We must always try and remain balanced so that we don't fall into these arenas where we're not really speaking to the truth. We're more speaking about our own personal pain, which is not a problem, but I think we need to be more balanced.
But
both men and women.
Because majority of your mention.
I think I agree. But we remember men always use this phrase. They say all men. You remember that? You remember women always use this phrase. They say all men are the same. And they are coming from a very negative place that do the same thing
when they say that.
And every other thing. So it does happen on both sides, truth be told, and every other thing. And even though when they say men don't cheat with dogs and cats. Women, you understand? So I think it goes both ways sometimes.
I mean, I have not come here to defend women. I was just pointing out that when we're talking about a specific issue, it's kind of stemmed from the woman's perspective as being the one always being at fault. And then slowly we started distributing the problem to each and everyone. We talked about
but like me now, my assertion that I give today, I blame Davido completely. And I strongly believe that how Sophia so believe in Davido. That's why she didn't have another child. She's still having hope, denying herself everything, and Davido has moved on, but she still have that hope, that God. You know, the way she still believes that I'm still going to get this guy back. Sometimes all the things that she's doing just to win him back, then tomorrow she will get disappointed. Oh, look the way man treats me and everything. It does happen. It goes both
Bad
ways.
character does not win a man back.
So
I think from sorry, let me just add this quickly. I think from the point of view of the video I just played, it's like a flip is happening. Like in the Asian community, the women are the ones going out, but while in the black community, the men are the ones going out. In the case of this Davido issue, I think most men actually blame Davido, even if, like you said, the way they started off came across as if they were trying to fault the woman, but from what I heard on the panel today, most of the men blame Davido. However, the conversation I was hearing yesterday, you can't believe how much they were lambasting the lady, to the point whereby one guy was even talking about like that Davido was being nice, that if it was on like some nice guys, that she would just lose. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like some people are like and these are okay. That's Gen Z. Bumi, these are Gen Z saying this.
just like Mr. Paul said, all men are the same.
These are Gen Z saying this, blaming the woman. I was like, there's no point. This is just a waste of my brain. I didn't think I was ever going to use that information again because it can
again. Can I just ask? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that it's only Bumi here as a woman. And I know that you're not here to defend women, so don't take my question in any way but for observation's sake. I wonder if you're aware that men keep their friends for life, more or less. The friends that they had growing up as a child, and those friends that they got in university, and those friends that they got from the beginning of their work here, they carry those friends for life. Women do not, in the main. Women don't keep friends very well at all. And women have a terrible way when they speak amongst themselves and how they snipe amongst each other. Men don't really carry on that sniping unless they're behaving like other. So further, in the workplace, women prefer men 9 out of 10 times as bosses, because they find that women bosses are very manipulative and get ratty easily. So when it comes to judgment,
is that even a fact?
It's a fact, bro.
You can look. Please do away with that thing on your.
Sorry, it's a fact. Just look at the whole scenario. All I'm putting to you is, whilst we as individuals may feel this or that, you have to still ask yourself, am I better with men in reasoning, or am I better with women? You have to ask yourself those blatant questions that will give you by yourself, or don't include me when you're asking. Ask yourself, if you have a boss, or if you've gone through bosses, do you prefer the female boss or do you prefer the male boss? And it could be anyone. It could, because it's all in the individual at the end of the day. But if you spread it across the board, these things come out. And I'll lastly put this to you, that when we speak about certain levels in this life that are probably outside of the home, let's say, outside of the homestead, a man would 10 times out of 11 be better equipped for that job than a woman. At every strata that you go, every single strata that you go, and I'm not saying that men are better than women, or that is not my pursuance. I'm saying that there's a clear difference between men and women, and it is best that women and men admit these differences. If we don't, then our head is gonna eternally be in the shit.
That is quite true, and I think the Gen Z women, Gen X, all of them, they have to start tracking back a little bit to the idea that men and women are quite different. And men too have to adapt to some aspects that women have started doing now. Like many women go to work every day now. So the men have to also recognize that as that change and adapt to it to an extent.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the balance we all have to try to strike.
This is why, forefather, as you were saying, why are men boasting about cooking? It's not that men were boasting about cooking. I was just making point that men adjusted very well to that level, and there are some men who have it in their genes anyway. You understand? That's what it is. It's not about boasting. You know, my parents came to this country. My dad cooked, and not only did he cooked extremely well. We were satisfied, and there was no difference between him cooking and my mother cooking, apart from my mother cooked most of the time. That's the only difference. But my dad chipped in to those areas which would obviously become difficult for the woman. I saw him do it. It was no detraction from his manhood. You understand? And the way my dad, as I said, and I believe this of most of our dads who are Nigerian, my dad is now passed. And I'm telling you, if I need correction, now it's his voice that I'm hearing, loud and clear, specific. He never told me one lie in his life, not one. He always told me the basic, horrible truth. That's it, Dad, please, just beat me instead. Don't talk to me no more. Please, just beat me. That's how I felt. I would prefer the beating rather than the hardcore talking to. You understand? And this is what a man is. This is what a man is.
I must say, I give it to Kene because he came in with a more essence. He had this stronger conviction about his position. And I think that's where most men should be, because you have to know your role in society and hold it strongly and hold other men accountable if they are screwing about. And that's why when he was speaking, I was resonating with him. Because that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that the guy has been irresponsible. He's setting very bad example for the next generation and all the rest. His behavior is not something that one should be. And he's led to a child has died under his custody, for crying out loud. He shouldn't be arguing with a woman about a child at this stage. He'd be looking for a way to walk around everything. You know, you lost your child. Jesus Christ, man. That guy should get his act together. I hope he figures out a way around it. Kando, thank you for joining us. And you see that it's not our community that have problems. The Asians have some serious problems. I used to think that they are doing so well in so many areas, but this area could be their undoing. The Indians may not be as technologically advanced as the other Asians, but at least in terms of their family structure, they are protecting it jealously. They don't play around with that. They protect it jealously. And so I don't know what you think about what you heard from the Asian guy or from the topic about Davido.
So you not drop me to Kando. This life.
You know now. Hey God, this is
surprised.
It's actually Mr. AI's turn. So
that's true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is your.
Why are you guys marginalizing me?
Is this your background?
AI's turn. So I'll wait and let him go.
Okay, no, Kadu is my Oga. I can't argue. Kadu, go ahead. It's my Oga.
Sorry.
No.
No, Kadu, go, Kadu, go. I'm serious.
You know, a lot of things have been said about this particular topic, even when Ngozi was here. And Mr. Jagun said some things that I think it truly flew over a lot of people's head. You see, this is not going to end well for the universe. It's not going to end well. There is nothing wrong with women's suffrage, and you know, I've said it here. I have 4 sisters. I love them to death. And just in case anyone has any doubt, I was actually given birth to by a woman. You know, so I love women, no doubt. But what society has turned into, you know, I heard all of the arguments about Davido, And Mr. Townsend said something that I think a lot of people kind of, kind of overlooked, which is he said this man pays 20 something million a year for rent. I agree with Mr. Kene. If I was advising him, I would have told him to go buy a house and stop paying rent. But a man that can pay 20 something million a year in rent, you think he cannot pay for his child's school fees? You truly believe that? That don't make no sense. He might have elected not to do it because of whatever issue is going on between the two of them.
Yes.
But let me tell you, I've been divorced in America. And yeah, people can be manipulative, men, women. Before the divorce finally, um, came to an end and it was decided, this woman did everything on earth, called the police many times. The police will say he hasn't done anything to you. Well, I don't want him in this house again. He lives here. What do you mean you don't want him here? And he hasn't done anything. When it came to separation of the children, me, told the judge I don't want 50-50 custody. Because I wouldn't want to live in one place for 3 days, live in another place for 4 days, live over there for 3 days. I wouldn't want that. Our children were born in a home. Let them live there. By that time, I was living less than a mile and a half away. Actually, the street that I moved to was actually, it just happened like that our children were actually going to the school at the end of that street. So every morning, I go outside and wait to see them drive by to school. But it got to a point where she started asking for restraining order. And the judge, 3 different times we went to court. The judge said, I can't give you a restraining order because this guy hasn't done anything to you. On the 4th request, I was foolish enough to tell the judge, you know what, just give it to her. It don't make any difference. Because I'm not going to do anything stupid. And one day I was coming back from work, and I was trying to call a place to order a bucket of chicken. So I'd already called that place before. So I just pressed that number. And I was driving, looking at the phone, and I pressed the number. And as soon as I heard the phone ring, I heard her voice. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And hung up the phone. That was all I said. I'm sorry. I hung up the phone. Because the previous weekend when I had the kids, our daughter had called her mom on my phone. And I had called the chicken place right after that. So this was right next to each other. So it was an error. At that time, I had 2 jobs. I was working in the morning and then working in the evening. My evening job, I leave the job at 2:30 in the morning. I mean, it's literally less than 10 minutes away from where I live. When I got home that morning, my landlord was waiting for me, which has never happened. He said there was, I think he said 5 or 6 police cars here looking for you. And they left a card for me to call the police. I called them, and the officer told me that, yeah, your ex-wife said you were making a terrorist threat. I said, what in the world is a terrorist threat? I didn't even know what it was. This is many years ago, more than 15 years ago now. I don't even remember how many years ago it was. So that night, I actually went and stayed with a girlfriend that night. And I had to go to court on this quote-unquote terrorist threat. The DA, the district attorney lady, who was going to prosecute the case. I told her, look, ma'am, this is what happened. I mistakenly pressed the wrong number. It's not like I dialed the number. You guys go and get the tape from MT, whoever was my service provider, Sprint. You will see that the call lasted less than 4 seconds. How could I have made a terrorist threat to anyone? I said, I'll do you better. Let me call her in your office with my phone. I promise you, she's going to call the police and said I said something I didn't say. She said, no, sir, we cannot do that. I had to go to court. They made me pay court fees of about $8,000. I had to go and do community service. I go every Saturday. I go and clean the roads. And the judge gave me an advice. I was living in California. He said, Mr. Man, let me tell you something. I advise you to leave the state of California. He said, because he said, I heard your story that you didn't say what she said, but there is a restraining order in place, which you agreed to allow to be given. He said, if there is another incident by mistake, by error, you are going to be in jail for 10 years. All of my family, everybody begged me, leave California. And I attempted to do it 3 times.
Where are the women? Where are the women on the platform? Make that they listen to this story now.
I attempted to drive to Florida 3 times. Each time I got to Texas, I just said, I can't do this. I know me. And I've seen other guys before that they leave their family for whatever reason, justifiable or not. You meet up with another mamacita. Before you know it, you and that person has a baby. Before you know, especially you're living in another state, you'll be calling the kids every weekend or every 2 weeks. Before you know it, it's only on birthdays and Christmas and New Year's. I said, no, I'm not leaving. And I've said this here before. I lived in my car for 6 weeks rather than leave before I could get a place. I said, whatever it's going to take, I am going to stay here. I'm going to be a dishwasher, whatever. I'm not leaving, because if I leave this place and go somewhere else, no matter how much I think I love my children, life is going to happen. I've seen this movie. I used to be a coach in that city. I used to be a soccer coach. Every year we have about 600 kids in our soccer club. The vast majority of those children come from broken homes. You see, I said, Mr. Jagan said something earlier. You see, I believe in freedom. I don't believe that a woman should be paid less than a man if they're doing the exact same job, putting in the exact same amount of hours. What a lot of people will tell you, oh, men get paid more than women for doing the same job. In most instances, that's not the case. A lot of those cases, the women take off more, rightly or wrongly. You know, so, but the issue is
what do you
this.
mean take off more?
Time.
But maternity leave, time to go. They are the custodian for the most part. I mean, we have men that do that too, but percentage-wise, is not, it's not even worth counting. So they are the ones that go to the PTA. Something happens. I mean, there are men that are taking up those situations now more so. But at the end of the day, the reason why I say it will not end well for everyone, men and women, and society as a whole. You see, it's unfortunate that we're not the same. The Creator did not make us the same. The women come with all of the eggs they will ever have from birth. Everything that you will ever use, you come with it. And there's a timeline. I think because he said something earlier about, oh, just because you married doesn't mean you have to have kids. Yeah, maybe for a few guys. For most men, especially most young men, if they're not going to have a child with you, or at least believe that that's a possibility, what is your willingness? Most men want offspring, most of them. So if you're not going to be given that, I mean, it's so funny. I've had this type of conversation with other people. Some women think that a man comes to them because they want to hear how brilliant you are. If you didn't have that thing, most men will not talk to you. They would rather take forefathers out to the pub and let's go drink.
Imagine that.
You think they want to really? I mean, don't get me. There are incredibly smart women all over the world, in all professions. But the reality is, for the most part, the first reason a man wants to talk to you is because you have that thing. For the most part, he might get to learn
because he has what? Sorry,
that thing. Goody.
It's not mine. Don't mind Kide. He's played
So,
job now.
Yeah, he might get to know you, and he
Sorry,
might, get to.
can you explain what you mean?
I will try and expatiate. No, but no, on a serious note, you see, we're not doing, even fathers, uncles, we're not doing our women, we're doing them a disservice. Because from a very young age of 3, 5 years old, oh, princess, oh, beautiful, oh, this. And by the time you turn 13, you begin to have some little breast coming out. Every guy wants to touch something. And everybody tell you, oh, let me do this for you. Let me buy you gala. Let me buy you meat pie. What do you think they're doing that for? I mean, so, and unfortunately, society is not fair to women that this is how they've been created in a way. But those who are interested in the family, in a meaningful relationship, have to understand that to have those things with a man of value, a man that is worth being a man, you need to do that within a span of time. If you don't do it, well, different time frame for different people, be it 22, 25, 20, 30, whatever. If you don't do it and get a man, not just any man, and I say this all the time, women need men to help them vet for men. Because the thing that most women look at in a man is not it. You need a man who is going to sift through all that crap to help you look at this guy, not just how muscular like Kene is that he looks. You have to be able to see past all of that. That this is a guy's guy, this is a stand-up guy, this is somebody that's going to be there for you. That does not mean he's not going to make mistake. That does not mean he may not cheat. Look at Hollywood. Some of the most beautiful women that have ever come through there have been cheated on by men they were married to. Why do you think a man that is married to a Miss Universe still jacks off? Why will he do that when he has one of the most beautiful women in the world? So it doesn't really matter how beautiful you are. Most men, the vast majority, if you're lucky, get with someone. Hopefully you need Allah, you need Jesus, Buddha, all of them to help you. And the men too. To be able to go through this life and make it a life worth living with someone. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your 32 PhDs, how many Rolls Royce you had, 23 houses in Abuja, 3 in France, a chateau in Belgium. Nobody cares. Life is about people. To be able to have people in your life that you can record your presence here, the meaning of you having been here is about people. It's not about things. Things are good to have, but you need someone to chronicle your being here. And hopefully you'll be able to, well, for most people, hopefully you'll be able to have some offsprings that you can teach to be good human beings and carry this thing along. But a lot of these people, rightly or wrongly, some of them, they wait too long, they waste their youth, becoming permanent side chicks, or leave their husband, leave a good man, a good man, and think that you're going to get something somewhere else. Especially the older you get, you're already set in your ways. The older you get, even the men, the older you get,
All of us.
Yeah.
You see, my brother, this is a man who I know is talking from direct experience and not talking the aspect of goodness that this world is. This is direct experience talking. And I wonder who's paying attention to what's being said and who's saying it. Because it's very important, those men who are married and are in a happy marriage, I'll give you all the kudos. I really, really do. I'll give you all the kudos. Because I think there's so much learning about who you are as a man and what it is to be married in a relationship and the responsibility as that demands. So I salute any man who is married. Those men who aren't married at an age 30 to 40, I'll say that, you've had your fun. I know you, generally, me, I had all my fun by the time I was 27. I've been around the world, done everything I wanted. But the thing was so tasty that I did another couple of laps or more. Having said that, those men who get married, I salute them because I know that they know what they're doing. They know what it is that they are doing with their lives. And if a man's life in marriage crashes, man, my heart breaks for them. Because in the most part, they are left as though, one, the bag's with them, which is that it's all your fault. Two, as far as the whole how love works, the love mechanics works away from the men. The men are largely left alone, and the love goes towards the woman and the children.
Yeah.
So understanding this dynamics that we are playing in, we have to kind of get serious with relationships and how we relate to women, how we relate to our women. We don't really want our women spoiling themselves the further into this narrative of the modern world, because it's not. This is not how it is.
Absolutely. Let me land it real quickly. You see, unfortunately, I'm in this space of people dating. If I show you my email, if I show you the number of women that are out there sending me messages in their late 40s, mid 50s, it's ridiculous. And the question I always want people to ask themselves is this. And the funny thing that I see a lot about these people is I'm looking for my whatever it is they call it, for my other half at 45, at 48. Where have you been since 18? You didn't have an other half since then?
Has I said anything all this while?
So I'm just saying that for me, no, on a serious note, for our young girls and the young women, please don't let this delusion that you're going to be by yourself because you have some sort of a job or you have some sort of a business. Life is not meant to be lived alone. Find someone you can partner with, Hopefully, God will help you find the quote unquote whatever that form of the right person is. Take your wings and go home. Don't be in the streets. There's nothing for you. They'll just use you and pass you on and pass you on. And by the time you know it, you'll be 65 years old, still calling yourself sexy online. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kande.
AY, is he there? Let me just check AI.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything. So AI say something, Kene, then we round up and go
You
backstage.
guys, yeah. Now that my Oga has spoken, you know, that was a very big one, right? Nice discussion. Nice discussion so far on this topic. I think even KJ was very well balanced when he spoke earlier on this issue of the video thing. Jagu, yeah, excellent contribution as well. But here is my own thing, right? On the Davido issue, from what I'm seeing online, it appears to me that lady, she just taking advantage of the situation. Because even I read in some of the document that Davido offer a house of 200 million, she said she doesn't want it. If that is true, that's a big question mark. The other stuff I read, she's demanding for some ridiculous amount of money for rent in Banana Island. To be honest, this is unfair on Davido, I will say, right? Some people could argue, oh, Davido is a billionaire, he should be able to afford the blah, blah, blah. On the other side, she's also requesting for the so-called luxury car for the daughter. Interesting. But here is my own thing, right? I feel that if you have a child, as a man, you should be responsible for that child. You should make sure you provide whatever he or she needs for, from school fees to clothing, for everything. Make sure you do your best. If you don't have it, that's a different thing. You got to genuinely. So from me, I would do it genuinely from the aspect of having this belief that it's just like something God is giving you to keep. Like more like God is gonna question me what role did I play? So you got to play that role. But for the woman demanding too much because Davido is rich, it's not plucking money, right? He's working hard for his money. On the issue of the custody, right? He's demanding 50%, but I think it is very, very unfair for people to say, "Oh, he could not take care of his child; he lost his son." That is so unfair because this same lady, she is also requesting for payment for a maid for the daughter. So that means she will sometimes leave this girl with this man and she's not home. God forbid anything could happen. So I don't think it's completely out of even ordinary people, right? You can leave your children with somebody. What if something happened? So the blame, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I think we should let that lie. But if the girl is using it for in a law suit defense, I don't think lawyer will always use throw anything at you. That's just the honest truth. We gotta be also fair on that. Lawyers will always throw anything at you as long as they want to win a case. They will always throw anything. But the other last year I want to really say, so this issue, that girl uncle Sophia Momodu, Dele Momodu is a very close friend to Davido uncle Adeleke. This is an issue they can easily sit down as a family
Absolutely.
and resolve it. Except somebody does not want to do listing here. This is I don't think this is a big issue. Davido family, they are not hungry. I even learned that the father gave her some money, clear up the bills and all that. The family are not hungry. This is something that they can sit down. How much will Imade need? If you throw 10 million naira, ordinarily, if they want to be just, if the video can raise after pay school fees, pay all that, you give 10 million naira to Imade should be fine within a year. Should be fine, to be honest, you ask me. But I know she wants more. You can give her more, but she also has to be reasonable in this whole thing. Because in the end, you are not punishing the video, you are punishing the young girl. That girl have a lot to lose. So this is a kind of argument where you see men, the Arati way. They said, we don't want this woman to benefit, we kick you out. They gonna they deny the baby of what she's supposed to get. She needs to know, it's about this daughter, it's about their daughter. They need to calm down and do their best. If she's angry, the video did get married to her. It's not the video's fault. It can't work. It can't work. Even at some point, Choma and the video they separated, but the video went back to Choma. I think almost a year they separated.
Bros, I would like, whilst I agree with most of what you said, I would like to know what it means in the real world, in our world, in the world of the day-to-day person. Because, the Davido case, it may be an aspect of interest for women, but I don't think for men it's necessarily a deep aspect of interest. For us, it just suggests what this world is turning to. And I would like to hear from you more as to, what you think the world is turning to. If you feel that reasonably this thing could be worked out without court case in a very African way, in a very amicable way.
Yeah.
Instead, tell us now. What your thoughts are.
I love that question. I want to actually go there. So today, right, the truth we don't want to talk about. Men are becoming weaker. The truth we don't want to talk about. Women and men, we need to understand there is a fundamental difference. This is just the absolute truth. We have sisters, we have to tell them the truth. We have nieces, we have to tell them the truth. If you know you want to marry a man, you don't believe the man have some level of leadership over you, don't marry the man. You're going to run into trouble. This is the honest truth. But where we are today, right? I can tell you from my friends, female friends' experience, how they will call me. I tell you, I have friends that are doing very well, single ladies, very well. What I mean, very well, they are doing very well. They will tell me, for example, oh, I need a man, help me get. In my mind, I'm looking like if you get the man now, you see, here's it, right? It's women that this thing affect more, no matter what you're gonna say. If especially this set of people, independent women, oh, I don't need a man. You need a man, no. We should stop deceiving ourselves. We should stop deceiving ourselves because the truth is, you have to make peace for a man to live with you. If a man does not find peace, it's few. Nobody want to die young. You have to make it like what Kandu was saying now. There are some things I don't want to see. What Kandu was saying now, right? You will see some women, they will create trouble that is not existing from anywhere. It's not existing. They will create it just to create trouble. They don't want peace. And when the teeth dull on them, they start running around. The other thing is they will leave good men. Some of them will leave good men and be looking for what is not existing. I know of one, every time she left this man, she's telling me, oh, my husband, well, my ex was so good. He's a very good man. He's this. He take care of kids. I'm like, why did you leave him? I'm like, okay, why did you leave a good man? There is nothing you can say. I'm just dumbfounded. What's the problem with you? Now, who are you looking for then? You left a very good man like this. when I mean good man, in terms of resources, in terms of knowledge, in terms of goodness to the family, in terms of, then where are you going? What do you want? What are you looking for in the street? Like, except there is something I don't know. So where the world is going, right? Despite the Gen Z, they don't want to recognize the leadership. This is the honest truth. And that is actually creating a lot of trouble because in the future, you will see, I think some of them don't even care. They can even have baby and say, you know what, I'm done. Let me just go and stay in my house. If that's what you want, good for you. But one thing I know, if you want marriage, you have to be able to work with a man. You have to be able to respect a man. I'm not saying the men should treat the women bad too. The women have some right. Treat them good. Also be nice to them. Take care of them. You know, you gotta do your part as a man. But in the end, women needs to calm down and try to work with men because the moment you lose the man, it's different story. Especially if he's a good man, you might never have that opportunity again. This is just the honest truth. So that's just my point on this.
Yes,
Thank you, AY. I like your final line there. And as much as what our father here can do, advice, it was really, really deep. So you said that you need a man. So you are referring to women, that they need a man. They should do everything possible to make peace with men. I think on the other side too, men need women. I think they need women as much as women need them. You know what I mean? Jago, you know what I mean? So you need woman, unless you're on the other lane, that you'll be running after your fellow man. But if you're not on that lane, you need woman. So, but this is it, right? I might have a different understanding of all these things. You know, I am of the belief that there is a saying in Igbo that says "Metonye dimmenyi makonono." When you are jumping around as a young man, make sure you are jumping with the right person. I mean, the person that might be good for you to settle down, you know, with as a wife, such that if mistakes happen, it happens sometimes. You have no option than to settle down with that woman. And my reason for giving you this advice is, should anyone impregnate your daughter and leave her for another woman, how would you feel? The same way you want a man to treat your daughter or your sister, try as much as possible to treat your wife the same way, or even better. You are the husband. In Igbo, you are called Di, Ndidi, patient. You know, for once, I will agree with this, my stubborn brother, Boom Boom Ray. He says that this world, there's nothing hard in it, actually. And I agree with him. There's nothing hard in it. You know, the same way when our father here, Kandu, was saying that that men or boys will be asking a lady, what can I do for you? How do I help you? You know, you're looking for something. Why can't you continue with that when you eventually settle down with her, when you eventually have her in your house? That same way you've been spinning her, checking her, you know, that same way you've been turning her brain, making her see you as the only man on this world. There is none like you. Why not continue doing that? You know, always make her feel that special. And you on the same side, woman, you know how you've been making him turn his neck. You know, one Igbo saying that says, Onu Bajie boys, making him see you as the only beautiful woman on earth. Why not continue? I know that maybe after one or two beds, there will be changes in the body, but at least try to always make him look for more. You know what I mean? Oliver Twist. Always make him look for more. Spice it up. There is no pretense. I have had one, their Daddy G.O. in Lagos, one small Daddy G.O. I don't want to mention his name. I don't want to give him popularity here. Says that You don't do this to your wife. You don't do this to your wife. It's a taboo. It's this. Somebody on the comment section call me a plate washer. Nah, anything to keep your home happy, do it. If it entails washing drum, wash it. Keep your home happy. It's your gain. It's for you. It's nobody's. It's not anybody's business. You will reap from it. Good tidings, actually, at the end of the day, right? So there's this verse in the Bible, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 to 29, where you see women always encourage women, be submissive to your husband, submit to your husband. I think that verse also encourage men to love your wife just the way you love Christ, or just the way you take care of your body. Take care of her. She's your wife. And I think doing this will usher in peace. There might be some frictions at the end of the day, but just know it that this is the woman you profess one way or the other that you love. And she equally professes that she loves you. If you truly love her, why can't you make out peace? Like, why can't you do everything possible to make peace? Why must you go to stand before one judge or whatever they call themselves and say that you want to divorce her? I don't know. Maybe there might be some serious issues that might lead to divorce. But what I'm saying in essence is try as much as possible to, giving those sacrifices. That sacrifices as a man. You are always obligated to sacrifice in your home. This is your home. It's nobody's home. Do that sacrifices. Make sure you are the leader. And then teach both your son or your children, your male and female children, how to equally treat their spouses at the end of the day when they get to that age. Your wife is not your maid, as I said earlier last time. She's your wife. I might find it difficult to use partner. I don't understand what partner is. Your husband and wife. Your husband and wife. You do the husbanding, if there is anything like that, and she's do the wifery, if there is anything like that. Everybody know your responsibility. At the end of the day, what you both are doing, one way or the other, is sacrifices. Not only you, the man. And who are you sacrificing for? For the future of these children, and for your happiness at old age. At the end of the day, because when you are old, you're expected to have your kids around, your grandchildren around, and whereby you could not manage it at your younger age, and they all scattered. At that older age, you'll be lonely. You'll be alone, both men and women, because if you cannot manage your first wife, is it the second one that you can manage? If you cannot manage your first husband, is it the second one you can manage? You are in that ring already. Deal with it. Deal with it. Just rough it out.
Thank you. Let me thank the people that are donating. Let me thank the people that are donating to the channel, because this is a very Kene is a very he comes across as very being original.
It's only this one,
yeah. It's only this area you agree with him.
But it might just be beating his wife.
Apart from when he said,
why are you beating him?
Except when he's trying to use some other people's territories. But it's all right. It's all right. Nobody's perfect.
He might just be doing bad stuff at home.
Exactly. So let me thank the people that have donated to the channel. I must say, Topeho has been holding up the channel for the last couple of weeks. One has to acknowledge that. Alexander Gomez has always been the first to donate and wanting me to be a moderator as if he doesn't know me. How many years now? What do you need from me? Topeho, thank you for the donation. It's like she's just been donating. And Tillig, $2. Thank you for the donation. $2 from £2. What am I saying? $2. Let's put some respect on that. This is pound sterling. This is pound sterling special. Thank you for the pound sterling. And a Black Beauty, thank you for the dollars. And $5 from a Black Beauty. And a Black Bone, Oscar Blackbone, thank you for the donation. One man went to more, as always, supporting the channel. And he always tries to support as much as he can. I hope the political season don't start making things a bit aggressive between both sides again. So Alexander Gomez again with the $5. Thank you for the donation. And another one, $2 again. Wow, it's like Oscar Blackburn. It's only a few set of people donating constantly, you know. Alexander Gomez again and again.
Forefathers.
Enough.
Forefathers.
Yes.
Miss Tokwe said I should not donate anymore, that she will be donating on my behalf. That's why you see so much from her.
Ah, I see. Wow. That's even doubly impressive now. She decided to take on the whole challenge, but I don't buy that.
No, she didn't say that though. She didn't say that though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't buy that though. Why would she do that? So, Tobeo, I really appreciate you. Look at that. That's heavyweight there. $10. Topero again, $5. And again, $10. You can't make it up. She and Alexander Gomez, they are basically tussling for, and she supports other channels. It's almost like she's beginning to take the kind of form of Alexander Gomez.
Forefathers, for your information, there are some silent donors that don't want to.
How do you mean? Okay, they do it other ways.
They donate directly, yeah, and directly. And can do. I think there's a message for you on this comment section. Can you read it? There's comments.
Electricity is not.
There's a message for you. I can do on the comment section.
You guys in UK, you guys need some special accolades. To be honest,
so you gave hard work.
Well said, AY. Well said. You don't know how we work here.
Yeah.
We work.
You know, I don't want.
But we are very interested in this level, obviously.
Are you saying that they are throwing challenge on the US base?
Bro, you know what time it is? You people are never up at this time.
By the time I'm going to bed, it's late. They are still up like in the morning over there. That's a lot of sacrifice. Especially for that one does not sleep. They take something. So
when forefather sleep, he's always upside down. Almost.
I sleep when I sleep. I just go off as if light bulb.
You sleep upside down, hanging from the curtain.
I've discovered forefather died today.
What did you say?
Going and Gary soaking.
Wow, you know what? I will plead the Fifth Amendment to that. Nobody knows what I eat. I think Pastor came to say something. I take it. So if you want to add to the discussion,
I was listening to Dr. Phil Prodigy giving relationship advice.
You can't make it up.
I hear you giving relationship advice. It's nice to be hearing Kenneth giving relationship advice, considering the many hearts he has broken.
Your audio is gone, on your this thing has frozen.
My audio is not that. My audio is not that great, so sorry about that. I'm in an environment. I'm using my mobile phone, my mobile data, not direct Wi-Fi. That's why. So I don't know if you are still hearing me.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, so no, it's just an interesting topic. These are other issues we should be discussing. And I had Kandu on when he was talking before I got distracted to attend to other stuff. It's in Nigeria, you know the phrase, "This life no balance at all." Life is not balanced, and relationship can be very, very tricky at times. One thing I don't like to do is to weigh in into matters I really do not know about, and so because you know person's stories, as with you, you can't do it. And when I heard the story that you gave, but one good thing you did, I must commend you. I can relate with that. Is you decided not to go far from your children. That is, I must commend I must commend you for that. And I think men should take cue from that. That even though relationship may not work out between both adults, the kids matters a lot. The kids are the main issues here, because the distance the man goes from there, then you can't buy that time back. It's impossible. Because by the time they grow up, you now want to start to play with them. It's going to be very, very difficult. I know it's a very challenging thing as well. So if one needs to relocate, then he has to relocate. But I tell men, even friends, I say, listen, whatever happened between you and that woman, you guys are adults. Those are your own person. As the kids are involved, about my network, so I think I'm lost again by network itself. So that's just, I mean, it's relationship is gonna break up, whether I like it or not. There is, even in the Bible, you see people relationship break up. It's normal. It's not the best, but it happens. And so how do we mend that? It's also a very challenging thing. Love your wife, or wife be submissive, this and that, blah blah blah. All those ones are also good. But if we narrow it to Christians, when I say Christians, followers of Christ, like one preacher said, there is no Christian marriage. And I 100% agree with him. But you have to be the Christian in the marriage. There is nothing like Christian marriage. I have to be the Christian, which is very, very challenging, but it is not impossible. And our sisters, our women, I know they probably will call to ask for my head in the plates, as I asked for John the Baptist's head in the plate. Abroad is good. There's some things we can't change in life. It comes with nature. And no matter the advancement in technology and the laws being changed or amended, whatever it is, it still will not change the fact that women, to me, this is my own personal argument, the responsibility to sustain a marriage lies mostly in the hands of women. And this is me from my own study. Because if you, as a woman, okay, you know the man, men are going to be ego driven any day, anytime. You are the woman to bring down their ego. I'm not supportive of any abusive men. Let that record reflect, okay? I'm not talking about abusive men who abuse women, no. I condemn that to the very utmost. However, for my fellow women, I mean, not my fellow women, for my sisters, I'm not Bobrisky, I beg your pardon. to my women out there, that listen, you just have to take a step back at times, because at the end of the day, when the relationship breaks up and both parties goes their separate ways, it's more challenging for you, the woman. I'm not saying you should live with a man that is abusive. No, that's not what I'm saying. Even the Bible supports separation. In 1 Corinthians, is it 1 Corinthians 7 or 2 Corinthians 7? So separate for a while, okay? If that relationship is a very, very abusive one, separate for a while. Let the man come to his senses. You can even tell him, listen, I'm not coming back until you agree that you're going to change. You put it in black and white. Then you reconcile back as instructed by the scripture. So, well, like what Kenneth said was right. We all have daughters. Some of us have daughters. We're going to have a daughter. So the way I want my daughter to be treated by a man is the same way I'm going to treat other women as well too. That being said, Kenneth, you will agree that when we were growing up, we were toasting women. We did not consider this. Now we are saying this because we are grown up.
I know.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are very right. I think we are just, that exuberant as a youth, right? Just trying to test drive and all that.
So it's not easy, but these other issues as well, and because it's also part of politics, whether we want to agree with it or not. Issues of life, relationship, dating. For example, people like no. The guy is not here. We are like somebody in the comment section now. Myself and Tracy Jacopin. We are getting along well, but we don't know whether we'll ever see each other and go on a date. We don't know. Just for the side.
What's this brother talking about? What's he talking about?
Well, it's my own 5 cents I want to add to it. Relationship is not easy. I've been around the block some few occasions, so I can tell it's not an easy thing, particularly in this Western world. I often have this argument. Again, this is my opinion, that most relationships would have survived. The ones that are broken would have survived if probably they are back at home. That is my own personal opinion, because some things, for every little thing, we just say we're done, we finish. I can't do this again. We're done. And I just kind of wonder, why is it that way? So I don't know. That's my own 5 cents anyway. Thank you.
Thank you. We should be heading back to backstage now. Thank you, gentlemen, and the ladies are gone for joining us today. Thank you for joining us. If not now, we really appreciate you for coming in. Jargon, as always, feisty and always opinionated.
I'm very ordinary.
You have strong opinions when you have them. And,
I do.
Quite incisive.
What I would like for you, forefather, is to look at the amount of times you throw me off air for no apparent reason.
You're my man now. We have our issues. We get
no apparent reason, bro. I'm off. All of a sudden, I'm even there talking to myself. All of a sudden, I look up and I'm off.
So I regret. I don't enjoy doing those sort of things. Sometimes it just happens. But I do always appreciate you coming. You don't take things too personal. Let's face it. And I respect that.
Sorry for that. If we go, please, I would like the gentleman to stay. We'll go backstage. I need to ask a question off record, please. If all of you can stay for 5 minutes, please. It's really bothering me. So for 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Tone, I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you for coming to my aid and me stabbing you in the back, but it's all good. It's all a good jest, and we all try to uphold rules here. Sometimes I fall below standard. It's not easy. I just try to do what I can to maintain order. Kene, as always, you are quite what they call it, articulate with your positions. You tend to have very strong position, even on this one that I agree with you on. We do have agree on this family stuff. AI, the future AY. Thank you for joining us. It's the future AY. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate your contributions. As always, I can't thank you enough for coming to share your own personal experience. And as you can see, Pastor came out to even acknowledge some of the work you did there. So it's not easy. Family life it's not easy. Our men are doing their best, and Nigerian men are not known to be shirking their responsibility. They tend to hold on more than most. And Pastor, thank you for waking up to come and join us and add some texture to the conversations too. I appreciate you. And let me go to the Blackstone. I don't know what he's coming here to do now. After you say I didn't sleep, where do you come here to do now? All the way from Germany. The Blackstone, thank you for joining us. Let me thank all the people in the chat. Highbury 10, I think that's the Blackstone. Topeo, Guy Owanlele, I see you there. Tracy Jacopin. I guess you and this pastor, you are starting a new relationship. Ken Agomo, I see you there. Ken Agomo, I see you there. Thank you for joining us. Let's see who else is there. Kandu is there. Thank you for joining us, and it's also on the panel. Double barreling everywhere. I really appreciate it. Vitali Info 20. Thank you for joining us, Vitali Info 20. OVU Project Freedom with electricity. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming over. Electricity, I'm looking forward to the project you are working on. That video you were showing, I'm looking forward to it, to see your handwork, and that will be quite inspirational to actually see something come out of here. Who else is there? I can't say everybody. The A4 Real is there, which is AY is there. But Y is also there. Thank you for joining us, But Y. I don't know what that means. Chai is there. Quite a few people have already come in. Chris Ken. I see you there, Kenry Bar. I see you there too. Which one is Two Men Went to Mo? Somebody's having a laugh with One Man Went to Mo. One Man Went to Mo was here too. We should thank him for coming in. Quite a lot of people came in. I need to be having a list of the people that come in so that you can thank them even after they are not around. Because I don't necessarily remember all the people that have come in. A Maker for Life, thank you for coming in. Manuel Ferreira, thank you for coming in. And always a pain sometimes, but you're okay. You do have your own opinions. Equity, Fairness, and Justice, thank you for coming in. Olaolu Ajayi, thank you for coming in. Olaolu Ajayi, thank you for coming in. I think I've said Kenry Bar before. Folari Ajao, I see you there. Efosa Akembo, I see you there. Thank you for coming in. Efosa Akembo. I think I've said Chris Ken too. All right, so I'm not going to be able to say everybody, obviously. I am Destiny. I see you there too. Till later on today, there's going to be a show. I think it's going to be hosted by KJ, and he's going to be interviewing one or this personality. And I hope you all join to lend your voices and obviously ask some pertinent questions. I did like the way we actually questioned and asked the Colonel today. I think that was a highlight for today, actually. The questions that were asked of the Colonel was quite pertinent. Yeah, I think maybe Pansa went overboard, but most people were measured. And they were reasonable questions that needed to be answered, because the military sometimes come across as being a little bit too mean to Nigerians. It's a fact, and that question needs to be answered so that people understand, because we are not in the military. We don't know what it's like for them today. So he just quit a few years ago. So it's good for him to shed light on what is going on there. And so some people don't take it like they are trying to be rude. They're just trying to understand. People are trying to understand. I want to understand. And I hope he comes back again to shed more light on what is going on in our security force, not only the military, the police. Can you imagine if we get former police officers come here to tell us what is happening inside? Former customs officers, former this. If you have family members that are working in this area that just retired recently, ask them to come in. People want to understand. You'll be surprised how much people want to understand, because look at that Colonel. Everybody wants to ask questions. The moment he popped out, everybody wants to ask. It's not like a government representative, but everybody wants to ask questions. It shows you how people are hungry to understand. If you have family members or people that you know, friends that are in trade unions, send them here. Even if they are like gate men, it's better than nothing. I will ask the gate men what they see, the union leaders, what they are doing. If the union leaders can show up here, good. So that we know what they are doing. How are they holding the government accountable? Are they doing a backhand shake with the government while they pretend to be? All those sort of things are important for people to have access to them.
Backstage.
Yeah. I'm just trying to talk so that people know what we are trying to.
I'm just thinking you are starting.
Oh, no, I'm not starting a new session. The idea is to incentivize people or give them, some people are there, they may even have this qualification. They don't care about coming in. And sometimes if you tell them, then they may consider it. They may not come immediately, but they may consider coming, because I think it enriches the conversation and our understanding, because some of us speak out of pure, not lack of awareness. We don't understand some topics. So it would be good to have the more information we have, the better. And the better our discussions are going to be accurate when we are making suggestions or proposing solutions. All right, I will leave it at that. And thank you all for joining us. Till next time, Bye all.
Onye ọma zoro obi o, akwa nwa zoro obi o, Max ịbịa bunye gokwanụ m n'ofu ube n'azụ ụlaga n'ịbịa zigo, mmanwụ ụlaga do n'ịbịa zigo, akwa nwa ilochi o, biko rapụ zoro ka ọ nabazi ya. Onye ọma zoro biko, abọmma nwatara ndasari, ịbịa wunye n'ịgwana m ụlagado n'ịbịa zigo, mma ụlagado n'ịbịa zigo, abọmma nwa ilochila, biko rapụ zoro ọ na-agbazi ya. Mazi welcome Odogu no kwere zinenke Onyo mani gadele mo Mazi ni bazi gambe Ibu go with melody Odogu na chala noka Ezi wane mniga dele mo Olagado ni pezigo noe Ma olagado ni pezigo Amama mwilo chilo Bikora muzoro Anabazi Te Onyama zoro de Mama was a sorry. If I were to go of Hulaga, don't Piazugo, Nazaboy. Molaga, don't Piazugo. Amama will chilo, Biko Rapuzoro, Anabazi. A dog can never be kitchen for. Ama kwa mnika kugogia Waligwe kwelo Ikeja mabele bege Hey, you want? Eku kampune kene Omogo ndinso Chukwu negaji Esi nwanne mekene mi Ịlapụl ife nini na-eme wee bịa Ka gosili na anyị na gị bụ nwanne Wisdom Megadi Ka nye gị maịkị ka ogobanya bụ egwu Isili maxi ọ bụ na-etiri egwu a Malụkwa malụ n'imego m ife ọjọọ Wesi gị nwanne m ife ọkụ na-echọlụ na ngeme Wisdom onume ekene gị Abama